Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. Today's conversation is one of those ones, fiery, because we have okayed. It's kawaida, it's normal for people to, get to know each other. Before, we walk down the aisle, I need to know what you're made of. But then the things I am knowing, I'm crossing the lines, all those lines. And the conversation today is how and why it's difficult for you to understand, to read, to know your partner when you're sleeping with them. And this is, of course, before marriage, guys.
Again, the proponents of it have been saying, I want to confirm whether they can satisfy me.
Yeah. We want to tick that box.
Yes. And some guy was telling the girl, I can't show my parents something I don't know. So I have to check you out first.
So what exactly do you want to show my parents? The things that your parents are interested in seeing.
These other proponents will be saying,
oh God,
now that we are already in love, there's no problem.
Yeah.
We have planned to get married.
I see. I've seen your parents.
It's not exactly fornication. Don't call it that.
No. Our intentions are clear.
So all those explanations, they mask one thing, that you are looking for a person who has the capacity to live a certain way, and you start by ruling out your chance to observe them living that way. You wanted a person who can control themselves, and when you met, you remove the place of self-control. Mm-hmm. You're hoping they'll be celibate and be able to say no to sexual temptation and control their sexual. Yet, that's the first thing you crossed.
Yeah.
When you're interviewing them for it,
mm-hmm.
I'm looking for an alcoholic, but we are taking a bottle as a check.
Yes.
We're looking for a non-smoker, but as we talk.
Yes.
But this one has a reason. It's because...
Yeah, he'll work on it when we get, and then even like the withdrawals can be,
It's a self-contradiction.
Yes.
And it's usually motivated by the excitement of meeting a new person. We are not here to deny the sexual fire.
Yes.
That you feel when you meet this new person and you're excited to each other.
Yeah.
I'll be giving a talk to boys, to men, someplace.
Yeah.
Be invited, and one place I was telling the coordinator is, we have been given the wrong things to aim at as men, and then they skipped over the very building blocks. Because there was so much noise about what makes a good man, I asked to be shown the rudimentaries, the primary level.
Yeah.
There's so much noise about advanced masculinity. Can you show me the basic?
Yes. Yes.
And I told them, I came to discover the one basic thing, and I bumped on it accidentally while I was reading. Some things you read, they don't click. But when you try to question issues of life, something you read pops. And then I heard what one father told his son. He was predicting futures for his sons.
Yeah.
And he was telling him, Reuben, you climbed onto my bed. You are unstable as water, therefore you will not excel. Men who excel are coming from a place of stability. A man who can say no to sexual temptation. I don't know who seduced the other, that guy and I was asking the men, can you say no when you are given, when you are offered? That is the rudimentary of masculinity. Forget these other things.
Yeah.
If you're trying to marry a man, check whether he can say no to sex even when you know he can get it.
Okay.
Imagine that is a check. Can he hold himself from sleeping with you even if you were willing? Because after a woman falls in love with you, she's vulnerable.
Yeah.
You can manipulate her away. When a woman genuinely loves, she loves with her all. Now we have a future, we're working together. I knew that part, but I knew one thing about women that we like to forget.
Yeah.
You can overwhelm her emotionally, but after she comes back to her senses, she'll make decisions that you will not like.
Yes.
My girl told me later, if I had taken advantage of her loving me,
yes,
and manipulate her body, because you can lose strength when you are just somewhere. You can manipulate your way. She had vowed, be careful with vows, that anybody who sleeps with her, she would never marry him. So you'll have your way in the moment, and then she'll break up with you. You have the moment and lose the woman. And I asked you the other day, what calculation it is for a man who wants to stay with you for 50 years, and he's saying unless you sleep with him for 1 year, he won't take the 50 years. Is he even sincere?
No.
That should be common sense.
Yeah. But we don't look at it that way. Here and now. Tomorrow is promised to no man.
You know. So I knew, and I came to learn later it was serious than I thought. I needed myself for us to conduct it in a way that we will not live with guilt.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to counsel our children with confidence that we walked this path, it is walkable. What if I try to advise my son to date celibate, and he knows I did not do it?
Yeah.
I'll be silenced.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true.
Moral authority is the only authority there is. The only kind of person, this applies to both men and men, because men are more popular with shooting their shot. Some even pressure for sex, and women engage in that. I'll give you the 3 rules and you'll have been liberated.
Okay.
The 1 rule is, you should not reach to a point where you are convincing the person where you should wait until marriage. The rule here is to say, you need a person who was living by that value even before you met them.
Absolutely.
If they say they have agreed to wait, were they waiting before? Okay, they have just agreed. They have adjusted to accommodate you.
Yes.
How were they doing before?
Yeah.
Because, mark my word, how they were living is how they will continue living, even after you're married. If they never learned to train, sex is more mental than it is body-wise.
Yeah.
If they never learn to tame their mind and keep it sexually disciplined, it will not happen just because they married you. Sex outside marriage is very different from sex inside marriage. The one outside marriage is stolen.
Yeah.
It's outside the boundaries, driven by lust and impatience, and it always leaves guilt after you've done it. You and your conscience know what God said about it, and you know you are crossing. And the rule here is to say, don't convince people. Simply sound out where they live. Another rule of playing hard to get, setting the bar high, not appearing cheap. We say it's not running, refusing to engage. Set the bar high, and one simple is to say, personally, I live celibate. I don't know about you, but then they will tell you, me, I don't believe like that. Walk away.
Run.
Remember, you need a person who believes in love as a concept, who believes in celibacy as a concept.
Yeah.
They're not adjusting because they can't afford to lose you. They're holding themselves until they marry you. What next? They may sleep with you, but the sex inside marriage tastes very different than the one that is stolen.
Yeah.
Taboo. Across the fence. The first rule is not to convince people to change how they live because of you. The change will be temporary.
That's true.
Until they have signed the deals.
Yes.
Get a person who lives by the rules you live by. If they were sleeping around, they will continue because they have not learned the self-control when they are offered. The ultimate test for men that shows you have at least mastered the primary level, 1.1 of being a man, is to control your sexual urges. Even when you are offered sex like Joseph, you can run away. You can flee even when you know that woman will not resist. Nearly half or more of men can't say no to sex. I was joking with my brother, Robert Burale, because a woman texted me telling me she has been obsessed with him for long, and that she saw me with him.
Yes.
She was hoping I can pass her word.
Hey!
That she's also single. Whenever she sees him, she can't concentrate.
Alas.
And so I screenshotted my Twitter, and we laughed. I was admiring his ability to contain himself when people are obsessed with him. And I remember that period for me of singlehood, and we were using techniques that avoided engagement. All our techniques were evasive. There are many battle strategies, but actually you can win by avoiding. I know that does not sound very powerful. Techniques of evasion.
Yes.
One of them involves exhaustion. You run until the person who is running after you
gets tired.
Yes. So the other one is called the law of the void. You become impossible to trace. So you vanish. So this time they are not running. You just become impossible to trace where you are.
Yes.
And I realized my brother is applying that. Because she said he never responds. I text.
Oh,
so
yes.
just become a void. They become very angry.
Yeah.
In the end, the law of the void produces desperation and people give up. The other one produces exhaustion.
Yes.
This one desperation.
Yes.
Quitting.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
The other one is called dodging. Dodging is when you know there must be some form of contact as colleagues. There's a place you're meeting. And you know, if you engage with that energy, they'll win.
Yes.
So we got it from volleyball. You can... Most examples of men are coming from our masculine world. Games. And so in volleyball, the hard hit is called spiking.
Yes.
So somebody sets it for you and you spike it with force.
Yeah.
But if the other guy has already set enough defenses, the spiking won't work.
Yes.
So if you see formidable defenses, no point using force. Now use brain. Look for a small hole, and instead of using the force, you you tip the ball. We call it dodging. So you avoid the engagement, and you still get to score.
Okay.
So when you have to interact, it's a colleague, it's somebody in your space. For me, I was working for IBC, and one of the ladies there crashed on me, and it was very weird. It was very awkward. But because I had to work, I needed the money.
Yes.
You dodge. At that time, when you're in the same space, you bring different conversations, you bring another person along, you shorten the time, you switch off phones at the time they usually call. So you be evasive in those moments, you minimize until you run away.
Yeah.
So there are many methods for us men. And the other one I call it sublimation. Sublimation is when people, you use it against the cunning seductresses. Some of them don't come directly to say they like you.
No.
They arose a rebellion in you. There are people who know to plug in the power within you, okay?
Okay. Where are people taught these things? Are there some for ladies?
Some women will never talk to you directly like that. But knowing your taste.
Oh. It's like he likes carrot cake, ya pale Java.
They will just do those things to break you down and cause you become mad with them.
Okay.
The only thing you can do there is sublimation, because the things she's doing are indirect. Indirect things are very hard to combat, to fight directly. They're very, in law, that technique is called propaganda. When they don't use weapons, they just send lies around to discourage your troops and tell them their case is useless.
Yes.
So that is to lodge a rebellion from inside.
Yes.
This lady who is using those methods, when you hug, some people hug. And I'd learned that in campus.
Okay.
Because I came from a place where any contact with the female body was taboo. A hug was okay for city dwellers, but for us country boys, it was a big deal. So what we did, I don't want you to start a rebellion with me and go to rest at night. Yes. So what I would do is... So here, sublimation is you dispense the energy continually yourself elsewhere, in safe places. Play a game. That's one rule. You say with men, you must always have a game that makes you sweat. Gym, volleyball, running,
something.
For us, it was weird things like dancing, but don't worry, it works. Actually, it's not even with dancing in church. It's just praising. They're accomplishing several things with one. Any physical, that's the rule. Any physical activity that gets you sweating dispenses the up. For men, luckily for us, our energy is monosaccharide. Okay, that's a big word to say. It's one directional.
Okay.
Once you dispense it at work, it's done.
That's it. Okay.
It will not disturb you in sex.
Oh.
But if you sit with it there,
okay.
So it wells up. So it's just one same energy. What Sigmund Freud was calling libido, and he was saying, that's how they tame an aggressive bull that's fighting everyone.
Yes.
They go to interfere with these articles of association, and I was asking them, what is the relationship between horns that are aggressive and the guys? It's one energy.
Okay.
So for men, we say, look for safe channel to dispense. And those seductresses who are trying to sneak into your space, they'll not find a ready environment that is almost ready to ignite. When there's petrol in the air,
yes,
you only need to come with a cigarette.
Yes.
To blow. So make sure there's no petrol in your air, no gas in your kitchen. That's a dark reason like throwing matches innocently.
Yes.
There'll be nothing to ignite.
Yes.
So, and you know that's how we navigated our 10 years of being sexually inflammable. But you navigate. For men is a delicate walk on a tightrope.
I see.
Because too often when you start becoming anything, then you draw attention of quality women. Some of the hardest women to resist are quality. You know, these are the girls who are desperate. They themselves are stuck. They need rescue.
Yes.
There is not much to trouble you with them.
Yes.
But a woman who you know herself is a rare species and has a liking giving you interest, many of them are very indirect, which is very troubling.
Yeah.
Makes you want to debate what she really meant. Could it have been? Ambiguous messages are very dangerous. So innocently bring you a thoughtful lunch.
Yes.
Thoughtful snack.
Yes.
And go. No interpretation, no comments, no nothing. And it will haunt you.
Wondering.
She picked nuances. There are many stories of women who pick nuances of your likes.
Yeah.
As you talk, because men talk, they just talk. So she would download and piece together what you like and get you feel so understood, so loved, so cared, so then there arises the primal motherly care.
Yeah.
What mommy gave to you. You try to say something, she gave it meaning. You try to, you are tired, she knows you are tired. She will even tell you, you coughed at night, take this medicine. She had your problem and the solution.
Yes.
Mom would hear you breathe and she knows, you are tired. Have you taken a shower? Have you know I'm tired? The way you're breathing here, you're right, ma'am. That kind of care is very addictive and very rare. Nobody gives you that personalized attention. So some girls will mimic that. So they bring the soft touch.
Yeah.
To bring you something ambiguous like a perfume. Now, if you bring a gift of something like a perfume, so that I'll remember you every day. It's very, it's a sly. Sometimes can be innocent or it can be used. You know?
Yeah.
And it's to say, I've gone that route to show you the work of remaining celibate as a man.
Yes.
How elaborate it is. So that you stop taking it for granted. When a man is asking you to sleep with you, look at the school you omitted. Look at how busy the men who are trying to live right are.
Yeah.
There are many strategies I've not told like. There are strategies of ignition. Ignition is sexually suggestive content, like pictures. Like, they take you to pornography, they take you to masturbation, they take you to imaginations, they take you to... So the ignition point is when you're supposed to control it and avoid it and distract it. And all of them have a picture in real world army, military war to show you how that strategy leads. You know, because you are being told another one of the inside comment is because in some companies women are more.
Yes.
And you guy you are alone.
Yeah.
So some will show then they don't think about it. Other will show that. So if you are seated surrounded by them, which direction do you look to avoid in this day of open plan office, or you know, and you're trying to, and because to experiment with their female charms, they keep throwing it at you to see how it works, just for fun. Some women are always testing whether
it actually looks like something women would do.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
They're talking there, just talking, just teasing. Ah, you Benjan, how are you? Let me hug you. Today I'm happy. So one comes to the happy mood, hugs. Another comes to what is happening?
Oh God. Yeah. And
now they're making makeup. This one will apply. This one. You know. And you're just there trying to cool, and they now when you try like you're not so much into engaging, they try more to, you know. Yeah. Tell us about men. When a guy says this, but me, I thought, you know, no. Now let's say, for example, you visit me and you spend that, so you're making me imagine spending with her.
Yeah. We are not good people.
Why would a guy not want to touch me and I'll choke myself there? Am I not touchable? No, you're wondering, have you been asked to check?
Yeah. Are you asking me? Should I answer for all men?
So, the strategy of encyclement was to always avoid being surrounded by risks, okay?
Okay.
the danger of women does not come from aggression. Women don't threaten you, I'll beat you, I'll make you fall.
Yes.
No.
No.
They behave in such a manner that excites you. So we said anything that tempts you can conquer you. There will be no aggression. You will not hear guns.
Yeah.
But there will be a slow breakdown, and once they occupy your mind. So the rule was, even if it's a physical place, fight to the bitter end to make sure you have your own corner that is safe emotionally.
Yeah.
Do all you can to make sure there's a place you're not always being troubled emotionally. And you find that you can't change anything, look for change of jobs, look for change of locations. When we are young, luckily for us, we are losing very little.
Yeah.
When you're just entering the career world, some of these jobs are just internships or things. So they are not really regimented, and it's not a position you've acquired. So all our strategies, I'm counting them so that you think what you get to know the size of the curriculum. And anybody trying to sleep with you, how much they have missed, how much they have not learned.
Yeah.
And the guy who has learned to live straight, to live right, the rigorous military-like training he has gone through. In fact, ask any guy who lives celibate, ask him how he handles his life. You hear strict disciplines. And for men, we say motivation counts for nothing. Just because you're psyched up. Today I'm psyched up to live right.
No.
We don't depend on motivation. It has not stood the test of time. We don't even count on it.
Oh, goodness.
But you guys, oh my God, today I'm in a good mood. I want to do. We don't depend on moods. They're too independent. It's okay when you can feel the psych, but we just arrive at a place of decision and discipline, stability and commitment. You do what you have to do. In fact, that's the slogan behind the stable man.
Yeah.
The stable man is who is consistently doing what is required, with or without excitement. Decide to wake up, you wake up. Decide to do this. So when you commit to gym, the guy will tell you that he cycles, or he walks, or he does gym. All sober men have a physical exercise of sublimation to manage their energy and their health and the physique. As you do the exercise, you feel like you're thinking better, you're concentrating. We have many others. Others are those of solitary.
Yeah.
So a man must always have a solo time somewhere, alone, to reflect his journey and plan way ahead, uninfluenced by the voices of the world. A man who does not have solo time of silence eventually becomes insane. Insane in terms of addicted to entertainment, addicted to sex, addicted to betting. Most men who thrust into addiction because they lost touch with their soul. The soul of male requires retreat every now and then. Our Lord will do it in the Mount of Olives. Daniel will do it in the upper room. Some in the solitary time they pray, others meditate. Isaac was meditating in the field. But it's that solitary time that you download the blueprint of tomorrow's battles. Yeah. The life of a man is a series of battles. So our language is aggressive, but it is very real.
Yes. Yeah.
The life of a man is always battle after battle.
Yeah.
So when men report how their life is doing, they say, yeah, I lost that one, man. Which one? A battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that was a win. He just got the woman, but he says it was a win.
It was a win, yeah.
Our language is always scoring because that's our life. Man, the slogan you say, those who don't understand, life is a war, don't know what prayer is for. To download weaponry, you know.
Yes.
There's that combative sense of our male world. And if you do not prepare for combat, you will be an easy victim. You don't wear your armor, and Paul said to wear the full armor.
Yes.
Full armor. And he said everybody who has been enrolled to fight in military does not concern themselves with civilian affairs of people who are not fighting and all that. So I was telling you this I don't know what it takes. Women have been studying what it takes for them to remain so, but you know, because for them they're always being poked, given offers. Somebody sends money and ambiguously says something. I was kill your lunch. So the dilemmas of women, I'm learning them now from my wife. Ambiguous offers,
yes,
unexplained gifts, kindness, and she was telling me of the most insidious form that men will just show kindness in this cruel world. And they're not asking for anything or pestering.
No.
You struggle to resist seemingly sincere kindness. Gentleman. And she told me, honestly, even you might hold a door for a lady or lift something for her. It's almost my instinct when I see a lady struggling to lift something. Yeah. Because you are told you are planting seeds for what your woman will be done for.
Ah, yes.
If you rescue a woman in a situation, natural law will send other men to rescue your own woman.
Yeah.
Ask any man who tells you that even when your wife is an expert driver, the fact that she's out there with a car,
Yes.
you wonder what might matatus do to my woman. I'm wondering in case something might happen. Yeah. And you stay reachable on phone, so that in case there's a situation, you can help her think. We always know they are more vulnerable out there.
Yeah.
They felt traumatized when I found an accident a woman had been, and I said, this is not right, because women carry our families, they carry our hearts, they take care of us, and you don't want to bully a woman on the road. Even if she's driving tentatively, I like to give her a distance to take her time and take her direction. Because sometimes the too many movements are not our nature. That's not what women were oriented for. This aggressive world is not, I mean, no.
This world is not our home.
3 women knocked each other. One knocked the other. And so there are 3 cars.
All women?
Yes.
Oh.
When they step up, they found they were all women, they first laughed. The one who was ahead is the one who is innocent.
Yes.
Because it was knocked by the other.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But when they step out, they realize, so there will be no margin results. So, and they were about to sort it quickly. It's just because actually it is marathons that had bundled them with a lot of hooting and so this one emergency brake, this pushing.
Yeah.
And they realize, how much is it? I'm okay. Can we know that this sort? Not to say some women are not hostile, but to say these ones understood quickly. We are better off sorting each other out without being, and threatened by a person who is masculine, aggressive, and all that.
Yes.
So it's to say, Mwikali, don't skip the place of the discipline or self-control, because for men, sometimes it's a 10-year military course.
Yeah.
But what does it produce? I can now go to Europe for a week, and I'm not with my wife, and I don't need to be monitored.
Absolutely.
I can now be in rooms doing sessions or things or talking. I can deal with women who confess how you are just everything they ever dreamt of. They never imagined that there can be true men. They can. I told you the insidious way in which women penetrate our world by asking for help, genuine help.
Aha.
That's why pastors are always at risk. When I talk to preachers, because then they're not paid. You see me, I'm paid.
Yes.
If you pay, this is a professional engagement.
Yes.
It's even unethical to get anything personal. After you pay, I serve you, you go. Thank you very much. The first thing we usually do early in our career, we rule out free clients.
Ah, okay.
Free clients help them from very far.
You're on YouTube, Zulu.
Thank you very much. So I was telling a friend of mine who was becoming a clergy. I was telling him, some of the women, you are the first functional man they saw.
Yeah.
And helplessly they'll admire the man who listens, understands, supports, and who understands them. So one of the things I want to tell you is, the reason you need a man of this type is to make sure he himself does not even bring the agenda, and you don't tempt him, because one rule we say as men, if she's leading you into that direction, she has been doing it, and you can't trust her that she will do it with your brother. No, I've destroyed it at the end.
I was like, I know where this is going, but I was just like,
because men, we don't know the difference between a brother or a worker or other men. For us men, it's not the bloodline we have. No. It's just men. Just male world. Is it my boss? Is it my driver? Is it my brother? Is it my father? Male world has that severely territorial energy.
Yes.
Severely territorial. And you hear a man telling his son, no, this is my home. That's a man with his son. You're wondering, no, you guys, you are one family. Just be soft. No, go build your own place. This is my place. A male cock who chased the younger son that was born by its own and chase away, don't try to, don't crow in this compound.
Yeah.
So male energy has that tendency. But I want to be able to trust you around men. And if you are seducing me and leading me on, so obviously, this is to tell you it's okay to catch the attention of men whom you like, but don't seduce them towards sex. You're trying to show what kind of one you are and how you and them would make a good thing. That is how you catch the attention. That's the shooting you are shot you should do.
Okay. Not
seducing sexually, because they lose trust for you. They wonder how many people you've done for and how many you will do for after. A man should know that it's impossible to take you to bed just anyhow. A man should know by your conduct that you're preserving yourself for a special thing. And those who ask, remember we said, if somebody says, you're not a virgin, what's the big deal? They're describing themselves. You're not a virgin yourself, and sex is not a big deal for you. For me, Physically, you may not be a virgin. I was not always like this. There's a time maybe. Some are virgin and also encouraging them. Maintain yourself. You're saving yourself trauma.
Yeah.
But those who are not, and there's a time you're in another life. Now you have evolved. You're a different person. You're in a different place. Your heart is virgin. It's pure. You are living a life of principle now. You can't be bound to history and the past. If somebody is trying to drag you to their level to use you, excuse them. So the moment you hear that vibe, tell them, imagine I understand the world you're describing. I just don't belong there anymore.
Yep.
You will find members, your colleagues. Move around. Some are even actually on the street waiting for you. Would you like some bus fare? Thank you very much.
Listen. The moment someone starts pressuring for sex during dating, they are communicating something very dangerous. This is how they have lived, and they do not value sexual purity and celibacy. You and them are not on the same leaf. You shall marry them at your own risk. You cannot tell if they will be faithful even after you marry them. They never valued purity before. Why will they value it afterwards? Advise yourself before you go on to marriage when such a huge red flag is flapping in the air. The right person will do all they can to help both you and him or her to maintain your values to the very end. Now you know.